Because right here, realize that Eliab would have been chosen by Samuel, but rejected by Father Yahweh. Verse 8. 7.
Then Jesse called Abinadab and made him pass before Samuel. And he said, Neither hath Yahweh chosen this.
Aye, aye, aye. So Abinadab now was chosen, was called. Father Yahweh still did not choose Abinadab. Eliab filled Samuel's high. Father Yahweh said no. Now Abinadab was called. Father Yahweh said no. Why? Father Yahweh was looking at the heart, not on the height of his stature, not on his countenance, but he looks on the heart. Then Jesse made Shammah to pass by, and he said, Neither hath Yahweh chosen this.
Again, Jesse made 7 of his sons to pass before Samuel. And Samuel said unto Jesse, Yahweh hath not chosen these.
So 7 sons passed before Samuel. Samuel keeps silent because Samuel, I guess he stand reprimanded, corrected. He stand to know that, hey, it's not what filled my eyes, but what filled Father Yahweh's eyes. We could get another topic right here. Why only 7 sons were present when Jesse father hit. But that's for another topic, another day. So now we realize that Jesse have made 7 of his sons to pass by. And Father Yahweh chose none. Samuel became a little bit concerned. And Samuel said unto Jesse, Are here all thy children? And he said, There remaineth yet the youngest, and behold, he keepeth the sheep. So in the eyes of those, he does not fit. What man is looking for to be a king. The youngest is left, and behold, he keepeth the sheep. And Samuel said unto Jesse, Send and fetch him, for we will not sit down till he cometh hither. Well,
And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy, and withal of a beautiful countenance, and goodly to look to. And Yahweh said, Arise, anoint him, for this is he.
all right.
I wanna. Just one second.
Yeah.
I want you to look at that word, verse 12. Verse 12. I don't want to continue there. And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy and with a beautiful countenance and goodly to look to. This is what Father Yahweh said, and Father Yahweh said, Arise. That word arise, he used arise there. I think it's only mentioned in the scripture 3 times, that Hebrew word come. See, Samuel did that react. Like he was.
Him never, whoa.
He never said, he never react. It just like, okay. But they have to together. That word also means, like would I say, get up. The Hebrew would tell Hey, rise, hope. That's him. Yeah, anointed. Body, I was saying, hey, that's him. Anointed.
Right here, doing things through the eyes of Father Yahweh might not be what pleases man. Because even as you point out, Samuel was not woe, or maybe he was cautious.
Yeah, Pastor Cameron, this is what, do you think, I think the Father Yahweh had already chosen David even though he hadn't seen him.
Yep,
Yes,
yes,
he had already chosen David.
That's the only thing I can make out of this.
Yeah.
He had already
He had
chosen.
already chosen him.
And he had looked at all of the other boys
Already.
and then he said, you got some more. You know, so I got one more. He looking after sheep and all that stuff. He said, but I want to see him. So then when he saw him, he automatically picked him right off the bat. So he was just destined to be king any kind of way you look at it. Yeah, but
And I'm using this to point out that many times what fits our eyes and we feel that it is the choice. If you look through the eyes of Father Yahweh, then it's a different thing. It's not what fits his eyes. And it is best for us when we make our decisions to consult his word. Not to be hasty. Be hasty for nothing. But in everything by prayer, you make your supplication to
Right.
Father Yahweh. He knows best what is best for us. And many times when we give up and say, I can't, we can. Because we're not looking through the eyes of Father Yahweh. That's why we think we can't.
right. Yes.
Many times we turn our backs on Father Yahweh because we're not looking through his words.
Right.
Why I can't? You know how weakened it makes even myself here feel when I see a brother or a sister just give up and say, I can't. Come on. You're not looking through the eyes of the word. That's why we can't. If we look through the eyes of the word of Father Yahweh, then we will realize and understand that we can.
Oh, yeah.
We definitely can. And I pray, Father Yahweh, that he will give us understanding, patience, and obedience to humble ourselves and follow his word. I turn now to Isaiah 55 because I want to point out what qualifies Father Yahweh to make be held in power to make our decisions for us. What qualifies him to be for us better than ourselves? Right? Going on. Isaiah 5. I want to start with the verse and then the verse that I want, and then maybe expand a little bit backward. Verse 8 said, For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my way your ways my ways, saith Yahweh. Verse 9, For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Come on. Then if Almighty Yahweh is so superior to us, then it is best for us to allow him to see, to look for us, to look at things through his eyes. Because it is best to have him choose for us, as Samuel learned to sit down and allow him to point out who he have chosen. And as Uncle Buddy rightly pointed out, who he have already chosen to be king in the room of Saul, that have been rejected by Father Yahweh. So, if his thoughts and ways are as the heavens higher than the earth, and we know how much million miles away, I pray that we can be obedient to allow him among and with us, in our doing. We have under Psalms 147, 10 and 11.
What?
Psalm 147, verses 10 and 11. We have
Psalm
utilized.
147, 10 and 11. He delighted not in the strength of the horse, he taketh not pleasure in the legs of a man. Yahweh taketh pleasure in them that fear him, in those that hope in his mercy.
So Yahweh taketh pleasure in those that fear him, those that hope in his mercy, not in the strength of a man. Because what? He have the ability to make the weak strong. In one song that we sing, he said, let the weak say I'm strong, let the poor say I'm rich. Why? Because of what Father Yahweh had done for us. It said we must give thanks with grateful hearts. So, but my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith Yahweh. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. For as the rain cometh down and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. Turn unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the things whereto I send it. So we give Father Yahweh thanks. This morning in my little inspiration, I was looking at, as a young man, how a young man choose a wife. And Proverbs 31:30. Let's read Proverbs 31:30. Hi, Sister Shelby, hello. Beautiful. No wonder I can see why Brother Roland have chosen you for a while. Proverbs
31, verse 30.
Mm-hmm.
Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. But a woman that feareth Yahweh, she shall be praised.
Now, as a young man, you look for a pretty woman, eh? And some might say, I'm looking for a woman that can help me. Favor is deceitful. But if you look through the eyes of Father Yahweh, then you will look for what? Someone that fears Father Yahweh. Not because she's pretty, not because she have things to offer, but you look for one that fears Father Yahweh. She might not be the prettiest. She might not have worldly things to offer. But if you look through the eyes of Father Yahweh, a woman that fears Father Yahweh, vice versa, a woman. So when I use the topic, I want to have it as wholesome as possible. The scope to look through every area. That it is best to look through the eyes of the word. Because favor is deceitful. Beauty is vain. A woman that fears Father Yahweh, she shall be praised. With man, we have an expiration date. Yesterday we met Bob. Bob said he's 81. How old are you, everybody? How old are you now?
I'm 84.
Wow. 84. You're going up there, Uncle Buddy.
Oh, yeah.
No one, Sister Shelby can catch you.
Yeah.
No, in the holy psalm that is recorded, Psalm 90, written by Moses. Read verse 4. It's a nice psalm. Let me find it. Psalm 90.
Psalm 90, verse 4.
Yes, sharpshooter.
For 1,000 years in thy sight are but as yesterday, when it is past, and as a watch in the night.
Huh. Well, I don't know. 1,000 years, just like yesterday. You realize that Father, we have no expiration date. Because we know that it is come down now to the 3 years, 4 years, and 10 years of strength, yet 4, and strength labor, Uncle Buddy passed that, Bob passed that, and many others passed it. But still, we have an expiration date. My reason for saying this, Almighty Yahweh, who is not constricted by time, because we have to try to get everything done by about age 27 to start planning for life. See if you get what I'm saying. See if you can go through college and get everything to start the foundation. With Father Yahweh, 1,000 years are just like yesterday. Saying that to say this, I'd rather have him making my choices. I'd rather have him to be my choice than man in the world. Because if he plans for me, he have all the experience that I need.
Mm-hmm.
And it is best for me to humble. Another thing that I want to point out is that what man esteem might not necessarily be what Father Yahweh esteem. I want to turn out to Luke. And I want somebody to point out, I don't know that time now, but
30 minutes.
okay. Did I say Luke?
Yes.
16.
Luke 16.
Yes. Luke 16. Well, let's read from verse 14 and 15. 14 and 15.
Luke 16, 14, and 15. And the Pharisees also, who were covetous, heard all these things, and they derided him. And he said unto them, Here are they which justify yourselves before men, but Yahweh knoweth your hearts, for that which is highly esteemed among men is an abomination in the sight of Yahweh.
Stop right there. Right here, the Pharisees, they thought themselves to be qualified to give this and to be the guide. And as It is written here in Luke 14, and it was read, they derided him. The Pharisees, let me find it. Luke, find it here. 16. Praise Father Yahweh. They derided him. You know, let's go. Presumptuously, you try to condemn. To the point where Yeshua replied, ye are they which justify yourselves before men. Even about the word of Almighty Yahweh. Even about the choices of Almighty Yahweh. But Yahweh knoweth your hearts. And going back to the instruction, what Father Yahweh said to Samuel, you look at on the outward appearance, but I look at on the heart. But Yahweh knoweth your heart, for that which is highly esteemed among men is abomination in the sight of Almighty Yahweh. This caused me to be cautious, because I don't want to go against the word of Almighty Yahweh. And it is evident here that what men esteemed are not righteousness many times. Peter also weighed in. Now maybe go to Peter and then tie what Peter is saying here with what is written here, what Yeshua said here in Luke 16. 1 Peter 2 verse 4.
1 Peter 2 verse 4. To whom coming as unto a living stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of Yahweh and precious.
Disallowed indeed of men. We look at how Yeshua was rejected. Men's choice is not Yeshua. Until today, some will not choose Yeshua. Until today, as John 3 said to you and I, light is coming to the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds are evil. I'd rather have Yeshua than silver and gold. I'd rather have him than riches and gold. Songwriter of a vast domain, but to be humble before him. Disallowed of men, but chosen by who? Father Yahweh. Many times we approach life and we fight our battles the wrong way. Corinthians 10. Looking through the eyes of Father Yahweh, 2 Corinthians 10. Start reading from verse 3 to about verse 10.
2 Corinthians 10, starting at verse 3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh.
Hold on. For though we walk in the flesh, because listen, we will always come across, and that's why we were told to, as much as light in you, live peaceably with all men. All right? For though we walk in the flesh, we do not.
War.
All right, verse 4.
For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down of strongholds.
Hold on a little bit right there. You know, many times when we are engaged in a battle, we're looking out. You know what we need to do is to be looking in. Many times the problem is us. Well, if you understand what I'm saying. Looking through the eyes of Father Yahweh, you will see that you are the problem. But without the eyes of Father Yahweh, Proverbs 16. Proverbs 16, verse 2. Coming back to 2 Corinthians here. Proverbs 16, verse 2.
Proverbs 16, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Proverbs, it says, all the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes, but Yahweh weigheth the spirits.
Hold on now. So, our weapons are not carnal. But because I'm not looking through the word, I am the problem. So it is best for me, for my salvation's sake, to look through the eyes of the word. Then I will be able to say, oh, I am the very problem. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down of stronghold. What if the stronghold is in my heart? How will I see it? Verse 5.
Casting down imaginations, and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of Yahweh, and bringing into captivity every thought.
Every what?
Every thought to the obedience of the Messiah.
Stop right here. Stop right here. Casting down imaginations. That's why Father said, my thoughts are not your thoughts, and my ways are not your ways. Going back to that verse that we just pick out. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways, so are my thoughts. So looking through, living my life through the eyes of the word, means that many times I have to stop, introspect, take stock of me. Everybody seems like my enemy. Come on, something is wrong with me. And I will never see it until I look at myself through the word.
Right.
Or else, the imaginations that magnifies itself above Father Yahweh's word, I will not see.
Right.
Go back to Romans 7, Saul saying, me that is in my flesh will let no good. For the will is present, but how to do it? He said, I find that in another law, that when I would have done good, evil was present. So it is for my best interest to look through the eyes of the word. I reiterate verse 5, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of Father Yahweh, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Messiah. And verse 6, Mom,
and having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled.
Having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience in me. Many times we think that it is our duty and responsibility to judge and condemn others. Duty and responsibility to deal with me when your obedience is fulfilled. Verse 7.
Do he look on things after the outward appearance?
Hold on there. Big question. Let me make sure I find it. Do you look on things after the outward appearance? Yes. Most of us do. I do. Read on the rest of the verse.
If any man trusts to himself that he is the Messiah's, let him of himself think this again, that as he is the Messiah's, even so are we the Messiah's.
Hold on a moment. It's by our actions, by our fruit. I remember we had we bought a property in Jamaica for the assembly. And there's a mango tree on the property, and everybody go up smelling the leaves and said, this is stringy, this is green. We were there trying to define what species of mango it is. We couldn't. Because we were all wrong. When it bears, then we could certainly say, yes, this is a truly. What am I saying? By our fruit. And we shall be known. Not by the tree, but by the fruit. Because here we all know it's a mango. But we just didn't know what type of mango it is. Until it bears the fruit.
Right.
Saying that to say, do you look on things after the outward appearance? Yes. And sometimes we even condemn. But who are we? If any man trusts to himself that he is Messiah's, let him of himself think this again, that as he is Messiah's, even so, the apostle says, so are we. So what should we do? Among the faith you have individuals that say, hey, I am of Messiah. You have nothing. Come on. Are the sheep of mine which are not of this fold, then will I draw. Because in Father Yahweh it will be only one shepherd and one flock. Yeshua is the shepherd, and this is where a lot of the Yahweh's ministers run aground. Because they think that they are. And they want to sit. We are all ministers working in the vineyard. We could get one more verse in. Where did I say we read to?
10.
To 10. Okay.
For though I should boast somewhat more of our authority, which the Master hath given us for edification, and not for your destruction, I should not be ashamed, that I may not seem as if I would terrify you by letters. For his letters, say they, are weighty and powerful, but his bodily presence is weak and his speech contemptible.
We were told that Saul is a short, frail-looking man. And looking at his statue, they would have said, his letters, his words are weighty. Why? Because he speaks as an oracle of Almighty Yahweh. And he looked, when he instructed Timothy, he said, look, is thy youth, but stand as a minister and the mouthpiece of Almighty Yahweh. So, right here, as I point out for myself and for all of us, that it is best to make our decisions and view our life through the eyes of Father, because many times we think that we're all this, but we're not. Galatians 6 speak One is overtaken in a fault evil, the spiritual resource of the Holy Spirit of weakness, considering thyself. This will also be tempted. You go down, there's a verse there that I like.
Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Messiah. For if a man think himself to be something he is nothing, he deceiveth himself.
We can stop right there. I don't want to deceive myself. So I rather having a readiness to avenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. I don't want to think that I am something when I'm deceiving myself. I don't want to be fighting my battles in a carnal manner when I should be understanding that I should deal with me. I pray that though we walk in the flesh, we don't war after the flesh. Because as Jeremiah 17:9, coming down.
Jeremiah 17.
Jeremiah 17:9 and 10.
The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I, Yahweh, search the heart, I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doing.
When his father always said this, then I must make sure that I don't trust in my heart. If I trust in his heart, his one heart is a fool.
You're talking my beautiful heart.
Yes, sir. My beautiful heart that I have in me there. You know, we start at 9, but maybe we could have started at verse 7. So blessed is the man that trusted in Yahweh. Hope Yahweh is. For he shall be as a tree planted by the rivers, by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when he cometh. But her leaf shall be green, fearful in the year of drought, neither shall cease her. For the heart is deceitful above all things, desperately wicked. And that's who pointed out, sir. Each of us, my beautiful heart. Who can know it? You know, many times, unless we are deceiving us, many times some thoughts come in. We have to bring under subjection, we have to rebuke. And this is where we need the word and need to be looking through the eyes of the word. And to know God's forgiveness. And to know, I want to point out how high Father Yahweh is. Before we even construct the thought, he knows it.
Oh, yeah.
Because of that, I want to live a life that pleases him. I don't want to trust in my heart. I want to trust in his word. I don't want what fits my eyes to be my choice. I want what his word said is right to be my choice. In Acts 1:24, Peter was talking here, I think. 5 minutes.
Acts 1,
Yes,
verse 24.
verse 4.
Oh, verse 4.
Hold on a minute. Verse 24, sorry.
Verse 24. And they prayed and said, Thou Yahweh, which knowest the heart of all men,
Some men,
all men,
some men,
all men, show whether of hast thou chosen,
All right. So right there was a choice because after Judah killed himself, chose other. Acts 1. Maybe Acts 24. You know, so now we're looking at coming up. Acts 1:24.
Yeah.
Because this was dealing with replacing Judah, right? Right?
Yeah. Judah.
So they want to make a choice. They want to choose someone, an apostle, or a part of the ministry. So they want to look through the eyes of Father Yahweh. So they prayed. And what did the prayer say?
Which knowest the heart of all men, show whether of these two thou hast chosen.
So it boils down to two men. But they need one. But they need not the one that fits their eyes, but the one that Father Yahweh have chosen. So the best way is to ask him to reveal who of the two he have chosen. Among men, to say which one have the better qualification. But in the eyes of Father Yahweh, which one's heart is more aligned? Read verse 25.
That he may take part of this ministry and apostleship, from which Judah by transgression fell, that he might go to his own case.
I tell you, I enjoy the word of Almighty Yahweh because sometimes when you read, it's like you're reading a novel. It's like you're captured. You ever read the word of Almighty Yahweh and enjoying reading what is written? I pray that we can live our lives through the eyes of the word to do things in like manner as these apostles did. 11 of them come together and they said, all right, we need to choose a replacement. But not what fool or filled our eyes with whom Father Yahweh has chosen. We read from further up, but sticking to the point, at the end, in verse 25, 26.
And they gave forth their lots, and the lot fell on Matthias, and he was numbered with the 11 apostles.
Praise Father Yahweh. So when Almighty Yahweh made his choice, and they all agreed with the choice. You know, I I can be alarmed how men hide from men. Sister Shelby, you ever find yourself when they say, look who's seen you, and hide. Would you not look up to see that? In Proverbs 15, the eyes of Almighty are in every place. Behold in the evening, we don't even remember that club. In Hebrews 4:13.
Hebrews 4:13.
Mm-hmm.
Neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight, but all things are naked and open unto the eyes of him with whom we have to do.
I want to go from start a little further, but I want to start right here. Neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight, but all things are naked and open unto the eyes of him with whom we have to do. Psalms 139, David points out, 139 of Psalm.
O Yahweh, thou hast searched me and known me.
Mhm.
Thou knowest my down sitting and mine uprising. Thou understandest my thoughts afar off. Thou compassest my path and my lying down, and art acquainted with all my ways. For there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, O Yahweh, thou knowest it altogether. Thou hast beset me behind and before, and laid thine hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high, I cannot attain unto it. Where shall I go from thy spirit?
Mhm.
Or where shall I flee from thy presence?
Well, I don't know, God no David.
If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there.
If I,
If I make my bed in the grave, behold, thou art there.
I
If I take the wings of the morning, and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me.
Mm.
Yea, the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. For thou hast possessed my reins, thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul know it right well.
That's not right here. Many times we think we can hide from Father Yahweh. Do not Jonah tried it?
Mhm.
Didn't Jonah said instead of going to where he was sent, didn't he take another ship in the opposite direction? Didn't Almighty Yahweh see him? Know his intention even before you? What am I saying here? Let us be willing, oh Almighty Yahweh, to have his way with us. Let us be willing to look through his eyes and call it as his word called it. Verse 12, we did read verse 13. For the word of Almighty is quick and powerful, and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and the intents of the heart. Neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight, but all and opened unto the eyes of him with whom we have to deal. I pray that we will all be motivated to stick with his choice. Yeah, we have to go through trials. We have to go through testing and trials. When that test comes, we'll be like Job. We go to Job 1, when he lost everything. What he did, he bowed down and worshiped. He made an exclamation, he made a declaration, naked came I into this world, and naked will I go. Yahweh give it, Yahweh take it away. Blessed be the name of Yahweh. Many times it will not go as we want it. The choice of Father Yahweh for our lives many times will not go as we would want it, or as we have planned it. But if we look through his eyes and we are satisfied with his choice, then we can do like Job. And humble ourselves and wait. Because the latter part of Job was better than what he had lost. What am I saying? Job said many such things are with him. He performed the thing. Many such things are with him. Let us hold fast. Yeah, let us hold fast to his word. Let us encourage our brethren who have lose sight of the bigger picture. Tell them to come. Invite them. Be with them. Because there's no way. There's no better place to be than in obedience to his word. This becomes my contribution today. I pray that it will be a source of motivation, comfort to someone to rethink, refocus, and to know and understand that even though it looks like nothing is not going on for me in Father Yahweh, stand still. Because Moses, he led his people to the Red Sea, not because he didn't know that there was a sea, but because he already made a way across that sea. So when they came up to the sea and they cried out to him, he said, go forward. Moses, go forward. Some of us will look at the sea and say, go forward in the sea. Come on. Trust him.
Oh, yeah.
Because when he held out that rod, the way was made known. That was already planned across the sea.
Mm-hmm.
So while we look up, we say, boy, I am overwhelmed with the bills. I'm overwhelmed with. Stand still. See the salvation of Father. Because he has already made a way for us. Thank you for listening. Father, bless us all. We say thanks. Sure.
And we thank you, Pastor.
Break for the next one.
So we're going to make our break. And at the other side of the break, we have another speaker. Praise God.
Okay.
The Father had a plan. When it seems there's no way
You want to get up?
out.